Now is an extremely important time in relations between Kazakhstan and the European Union.
Kazakhstan is a very hospitable country, and that is immediately noticeable by all the foreigners that come here.
Europe has a remarkable soft power pool in Kazakhstan, with people wishing to travel to Europe to study, to have medical treatment, and of course for business.
I like the multi-vector foreign policy. I always also quote it when I talk to the others.
We have a unique window of opportunity now.
I am Aleska Simkic. I am ambassador of the European Union to the Republic of Kazakhstan.
I am Roman Vassilenko. I am ambassador of the Republic of Kazakhstan to the European Union.
And to some other organizations, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, of course, and I'm also ambassador to the Kingdom of Belgium and to NATO, and perhaps soon to some other countries.
I have been here for some time, but you just started your job in Brussels. You have been ambassador before, and you have been, of course, deputy foreign minister, a great colleague of ours. How do you feel about moving to Brussels? How is it? What are your first impressions? What are your expectations?
Well, thank you so much, Alешka. I, of course, go to Brussels with very great expectations. And I think that I hope in some time after we both work on our respective missions, we can say, looking back, that it wasn't more of the same. I would like for us to do, of course, more of the same, but on a different level. And I think that now is an extremely important time in relations between Kazakhstan and the European Union. The relations are on the upswing. They have been built on a very solid foundation over the past 33 years of relations. But I think they have strengthened tremendously in the past 3.5 years. And I think that with the new commission, relatively new commission in place in Brussels, with the president in Kazakhstan committed to strengthening ties with the European Union as part of our balanced and pragmatic foreign policy, we are at a time when we can really advance our relations, deepen our relations, strengthen our relations in so many ways. Economy, trade, investment, people-to-people contacts, which are, of course, always a top priority for Kazakhstan. And you have been here for a year now, almost a year now. I think you have done a fantastic job, if I may say so.
Oh, thank you.
You, of course, have many more achievements to strive towards. But I was curious as to how do you feel about this first year of your service in Kazakhstan and what you see in the future for you as your priorities?
Thank you so much indeed. I mean, as mentioned earlier, you were our counterpart in the foreign ministry, so it always depends on how the foreign ministry is also welcoming the ambassadors here. And I can say that the first impressions that I had, and for the entire year, and I can speak also even on behalf of my colleagues, that Kazakhstan is a very hospitable country. And that is immediately noticeable by all the foreigners that come here, either as tourists or working here. So I think that's the first thing. And I was lucky to have been able also to travel around the country. So I'm not only in Astana, I've traveled also, by now I visited 10 regions and all 3 cities. So I'm very happy, and everywhere I meet the people who are very keen and liking Europe, liking Europeans, are curious, and that's lovely. In terms of private life, I live by the river, so it's just really lovely. In terms of professional, what I like about, I very much agree with what you said. We need to do more of the new and elaborate. Somebody has recently said that in the last 20 months, there were more visits to Kazakhstan and from Kazakhstan to Europe than in last 20 years. And that is, of course, wonderful. And I think we should both continue from our sides to work on more visits. And on all the topics that are always there. I like the multi-vector foreign policy. I think that's actually a very good, I always also quote it when I talk to the others, that's what I appreciate about Kazakhstan, and I think that's what you should continue doing. And so everything that this multi-vector foreign policy, and I'm actually, I think that we have both great ambition here, both you in Brussels, me in Astana, for our joint cooperation. I'm sure that we will face some challenges, and we are facing some challenges. Where do you see them? What do you think are going to be?
Well, I think one challenge would be to cut through bureaucracy on both sides. We both are famous for our efficient bureaucracies, so we need to make sure that these bureaucracies are indeed more efficient. But I think the challenge is to, one of the biggest challenges is to do things that we plan to do in time. Because I think we have a unique window of opportunity now with so much focus on the strengthening of our ties with the institutional framework that exists in the Enhanced Partnership and Cooperation Agreement between Kazakhstan and the European Union and its member states, and in the European Union strategy for Central Asia. And I think that with such a focus that both Astana and Brussels and other European capitals display, I think we need to carpe diem, to catch the moment. We are lucky that we were able to organize the first ever summit recently together in EU Central Asia Summit in Samarkand, where our leaders gave a very clear vision for where they want this relationship to be in the next few years. Of course, we need to implement this vision. I see great potential in areas that have recently come to the fore, such as the critical raw materials or the development of green hydrogen, and last but not least, of course, the development of transport and connectivity between Kazakhstan and Central Asia generally and the European Union through the development of the Middle Corridor. So the challenge, the ultimate challenge, I think, is to gear up my own team in such a way that every single day we work towards achieving those goals that our leaders have set for us.
I agree.
What do you think?
I agree with you very much with what you're saying. I think that there will be, of course, I mean, what is above us is the whole geopolitics, which will be a challenge because all that you are mentioning, you know, the connectivity, all that is also, or the fact that we have such relations as we have is also consequence, positive consequence of geopolitics around us. So I think that what we will have to really instrumentalize, I think, and is indeed working within this geopolitics in a positive sense. I like the positive approach that I think both European Union and Kazakhstan have towards the geopolitics, if you wish. And here I see great potential in our, you know, both of our, let's say, Kazakhstan, the country, and our union have about UN Charter, about, you know, peace agenda. This is something that I think we all have in common, and we should work on that no matter what challenges come from whichever side. I also see great potential and challenge that has to continue of regional integration because, of course, European Union has its own internal challenges, but Central Asia is getting closer together, Kazakhstan being an important, I'm not going to say the most important so that I don't make anybody else angry, but for me, being in Kazakhstan is the most important part of the regional cooperation. And I think that if this continues, there's a great potential we have to use. So it just shouldn't go back in that, I think. So I guess those are the big things that I see, but together we can probably overcome.
Yes, and I think we can indeed, in the next few months and years, we can make it so that the European Union and Kazakhstan and Central Asia become literally closer in so many ways, which we did describe. But I would also highlight once again the people-to-people contacts. And for that, of course, one of my biggest challenges will be to work with you, with your colleagues in Brussels, on launching the negotiations as soon as possible on the visa facilitation agreement and on the readmission agreement, so that eventually we can conclude that and make it much more easier for Kazakh citizens to travel to Europe. And they want to travel to Europe. Europe has a remarkable soft power pool in Kazakhstan, with people wishing to travel to Europe to study, to have vacation, to have medical treatment, and of course for business ties. So that's one of the specific tasks I set for myself, and I very much would hope for your kind help.
Oh, you know, I have, when I came here, I said that one thing I want to achieve is within my mandate that we actually sign this visa facilitation agreement. I still have 2 years left.
That makes 2 of us.
So let's try to make the best of it, because I'm fully with you. It's my task here also, as is your task in Brussels, my tasks here in Astana is to, on the one hand, of course, help Kazakhstan and get Kazakhstan more knowledgeable and get to know about Europe, but also about Europe getting to know Kazakhstan. And for that, the travel of Kazakhs to Europe is, of course, one of the things that I see as useful. I see the interest of students, I see the interest of tourists, the workers, if you wish, so everybody wants to come. And I think, if I may be a bit cynical, as long as they don't want to stay too long or too, they're more welcome. So I think we're going to work on that. I hope that it works out. We both will try that. What will be the first 3 things that you will do in Brussels?
Well, I am in a stage that I am getting my mind around the moving part of the challenge. But I think that I will certainly make visits, of course, to our good partners in the European Commission, in the European External Action Service, in the European Council, and in the European Parliament. So I see the challenge, again, the word is challenge, at finding the time to do all of that and to knock on all the right doors, because there are so many doors in Brussels, and
exactly.
And there are so many important people in so many important positions. So that's, I think, one thing I will be always prioritizing. I also will reach out to the think tanks, and there are many in Brussels, and I think that it will be important for them also to learn of our priorities at this stage from us directly. Of course, they know, they track the development of our relations. I can name the European Policy Council, the European Neighborhood Council, the European Foreign Policy Council, etc., and there are many others. And I think they too play a very important role in shaping the perceptions of our relations and of the future of these relations. And I think it will be great also to reach out to them. And the third, I hope to get to know Brussels better and enjoy some Brussels weather.
I can give you advice on that. In terms of Brussels weather, just always carry with you an umbrella and sunglasses at the same time, because you can change within a day. It's not the case in Astana anyway.
But what do you see for yourself as the next challenges in the next 3 things you would want?
Oh, my 3 things. I've been here almost a year now. So what I'm now working on is to write my 1 year in Kazakhstan things that I think we have achieved, because it doesn't look, when you're day-to-day working, you don't really see how much you have actually achieved, how many visits have happened, what has been happening. So I'll try to do that, and based on that, to prepare a plan for the 2nd and 3rd year with my colleagues. We will have a big rotation this year in the delegation. There will be a lot of new colleagues, so there will be new dynamics, I hope. So I'm going to try to make my new colleagues comfortable here, as you will have to get to know new colleagues in the mission. I'll get to, in your mission. I'll get to know a lot of people here in the delegation, the new ones. And in terms of Kazakhstan, we said that we don't want more of the same, but there will be a lot of more of the same, but just upgrade it. I would hope that it continues. I'll have to get to know the new deputy foreign minister who is going to be responsible for Europe.
Of course.
So I count on his cooperation, as good as we had it with the previous deputy foreign minister. And yes, and continue, as I mentioned, traveling and getting to know this country, because I find it fascinating. So,
well, thank you and good luck, and I'm sure we will succeed.
I have no doubt. I also wish you bonne chance. I know that you speak French very well, so that's going to make it easy. And yeah, good luck.
Іске сәт сізге.